My name is Scott Russell, and I am playing Jerry.
I think Scott has something that can't be taught, and that's presence. He can kind of command the stage, and having that sort of presence is not necessarily a technique you can learn in an acting class. You find that there are people that have that certain X factor, and I think that he has it. I think that charisma is what is needed in the role of Jerry.
I love Scott's physicality, the way he moves on stage and the way he can dart around. I think it all helps him play Jerry very, very believably or realistically.
Oh, wow. Scott brings such an intensity. He's such a vibrancy to the character. He is so in the moment and it just turns on a dime when it calls for it.
I try to make myself, in the rehearsal process, to be as open as I can so that as we're rehearsing, as we're going through, that I allow things to kind of organically come through me.
Scott is a naturally very intensely focused person, and that kind of quality really helps us connect a little bit with what Jerry's all about in terms of his own very internal nature, yet focused desire to connect with Peter.
He is versatile in that, I don't know, he can be very charming and comforting to be near, very magnetic and easy to talk to. And then on the other hand, he has a very imposing physical stature. He can be very threatening quite easily and suddenly. And so there's just an unexpected quality that Scott can have on stage, which Jerry certainly has. And it's fun. It's been fun to see that develop.
Jerry's he's just such an odd character. I mean, his psychology isn't the same as the rest of us. The rules of his world are, I think, slightly different, and he's trying to make sense of them as they go along. So to try to communicate in the world that everyone else lives in, but also live in his, has been a really big challenge. I mean, I've listened to some Albee like podcasts and interviews and stuff that he's done, and he always felt that you didn't get enough of who Peter was, and you didn't learn enough about him and to where he was coming from to be who he was when you meet him for the first time in the park. But I always felt that he was perfectly set up. You got the sense of who he was based off of the conversation that took place and his mannerisms and just the way that the two characters interact. And I assume some people don't like theater because it can be a little too raw for them. Unlike a movie where you have that separation between yourself and the screen, I mean, this is real emotion, raw emotion, hitting you, landing directly on you if we're doing our jobs correctly. And I think you get a lot of realism in this play, but it's done in a way that's blended with absurdism. And so if you're wary of realism and getting attached, maybe the little bit of the absurd aspect of the play could help draw you in and break down that barrier for you. And then you can come see all the shows that we do.